Hey, welcome to another episode of Unschool podcast. I'm your host Ankush Sharma, and today we are gonna talk about focus. So, before we begin, I want to make a quick announcement. I want you to develop a habit of reading. So, just send me a blank email on unschoolpodcast@gmail.com and subscribe for a free PDF book every month. So, coming back to focus, how to stay focused. Have you ever been in a situation where you can't focus? You sit for studying for exam and you can't focus. So, how to stay focused? So, answering this question is perhaps the most important and critical thing you will ever do in your lifetime. So, I hope it is an absolute to learn to take back your focus in life, for you to become more distinct and more clear about what your focus really is, and for you to finally decide what you want in your life. Think for a minute. If you don't finally get your focus back in check, if you keep wandering around distracted, if you keep looking at every new thing that pops up, if you keep trying every new app, if you keep saying yes to everything, if you keep listening and doing what people ask you to do, you will lose your life. I don't mean that you will lose your life in physical sense, but one day you will wake up and say, life is boring. I am a loser. I haven't accomplished anything meaningful. I don't feel I care about what I'm doing. I don't feel connections with my family and friends, because at some point your focus drives everything. It drives your thoughts and emotions, deciding what you will become. If you focus on negative things, you're gonna become negative. If you don't focus on your priorities, focus drives everything. What will happen to your relationships, the overall quality of your life you have? It's not about being productive. We will talk about that later. It's about experiencing the best quality life. So, how will you get your focus back? The first thing I want to tell you in order to get your focus back is to make fewer decisions. Fewer decisions. But why? From neurosciences and productivity studies, we know that more decisions we take, more our brain gets fatigued. That is, more glucose we consume, that is fueling our willpower, that depletes our ability to take more quality decisions. The more you spend energy on taking more decisions, more ineffective you get in long term. This is because you will utilize your ability, your resources, your brain, and your willpower will go out of the window. You have to minimize the number of decisions you are making. So how do you do that? Here I give some simple suggestions. Stop browsing. I know you find me because you were browsing somewhere, and finding me is making a change in your life, helping you in your personal development. But I tell you that browsing completely depletes your focus and willpower. This little Instagram stories, posts, YouTube, music are utilizing your brain resources, and when you get back to work and try to focus your energy to get things done, you are unable to focus on one thing and start multitasking. And because of your work is not really focused, nothing gets done. This is because your brain is fatigued, and what happens is you find yourself just sitting, scrolling, watching Netflix, flipping over random things. Ask yourself, is that true? It is. Little did you know, more you are not focusing on one thing, more it gets difficult for you to get one thing done. Stop browsing all those news feeds, all those stories, all those streaks, because every time you look at them, your mind make a decision that pay attention or not to pay attention. And you are unaware of this is making you deprived of focus and resources when you need it. You can't help. I know, because all these things you see are firing up your dopamine and your vasopressin. I see all these things because my mind gets excited making all these decisions, and it becomes so addicted, all because of small mechanism in in your brain called novelty bias. So if you keep on going back to these things on purpose, you will never get your focus back. So stop going to them for relaxation when it is fatiguing you. Making searches intentionally. If you're looking for something, find that and you are out. Stop clicking on the blue links. Stop swiping apps, pictures. So point number 2, you must define your mission. You need to define your mission, what you are doing today, what task you are going to do tomorrow. You need to know what it is and what you desire in life, and then figure out the steps that are required to get started working and minimizing everything else and getting clear for the mission. That's what people do. They focus on too many projects because they are not aware of the mission. What you can do is just simply put a to-do list about what you're gonna accomplish today, this month, this year, and in the next 10 years. Focus goes out of the window when you're not progressing. We don't pay attention to anything. We don't feel good about anything. You want to get more focus in your life? Get more progress. As you progress more, you start getting excited. You start to pay attention to things that are working and start finding more focus in your life. Once you find the mission, start saying no to everything and everybody. You might think, but life is about yes. But I want you to say no just to check it against your mission. I don't want you to say yes to any project or thing immediately. I want you to take a break, a night, an evening, an hour, and take decision next day. First, teach yourself to say no. That is, I will evaluate it first. I'm gonna give it some time to see does it deserves my focus and build some criteria for it. Think about time, resources, benefits, and growth. Are you going to put more into it than you get out of it? Evaluate the return of investment or future value of it. Your own personal development. Your focus should get back to simplicity and what you call essentialism. Focus on one or two things so you not allow yourself to sucked by distractions. I suggest you to minimize your time spent on mobile and devices to be reduced to 1 or 2 hours a day. When I did that, my attention span grew. That is, I can now focus on things not effortlessly but with more ease. Addition to this, I had more ideas that my mind arrived at, and top of this, I have more plans and thoughts for me and my future. I've gone through a series of research papers and found that it's not that our brain are distracted, but that our brain crave distractions. We are at high stimulation, and when we don't use mobile phones, it goes from high stimulation level to low stimulation level. This phase is called boredom, and you say everything is boring. So this restlessness that we have, I experienced it. It takes 8 days to come out of the boredom phase of mobile reduced stimulation. So let your brain wander free. Give yourself space, because not all those who wander are lost. Take this 2-week challenge, less screen time, and rediscover boredom. This is all for this session. Meet you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Unschool podcast.